Welcome to the Lowdown. I'm Courtney Sisk. Let's take a look at what's been going on in the world around us. Last week, I talked about Myanmar and the violence that's happening there. Well, tonight in studio, we have Lian Hin from the Myanmar Student Association at IU. Welcome to the show, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us about this important topic.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So can you briefly tell us what's been going on in Myanmar and Bangladesh?
With the people in the Rohingya people in Myanmar, what's happening to them is really a tragedy on many different levels. For one, you see that because of their ethnical, religious, and cultural minority, they face oppression from not only the military but also from the people. They are also victims of an oppressive military. They're also caught in the crossfires between both the military and the militant groups of the Rohingya people. None of those things are especially specific to the Rohingya, because as other ethnical groups, other ethnical minorities do experience the same thing to some degree. For them, it's a little bit more because in the eyes of the government and in the eyes of the people, they're seen as illegal aliens, that they're seen more as unwanted squatters than they are as citizens of Myanmar, even though that many of them have lived there since they were children or have been born there for many generations. So what's happening to them, it really is a tragedy on all fronts, really.
It is, and I've been reading places that some people are considering this a genocide, a mass ethnic cleansing. What do you perceive this as?
When you just look at the footage and when you just look at it without any context, really it does seem that way. I would encourage people to do a little bit more research just on the history of Myanmar itself. It's really easy to say it's an ethnic cleansing, but for one, this really isn't anything new. It just so happens that this has been elevated to sort of a really volatile place, and it's a tragedy by any means. But I wouldn't say it's ethnic cleansing, for sure.
How far do you think this will go? Where do you see this going in the future?
Hopefully it dies down. Hopefully the people of Rohingya, whether they go to Bangladesh or they decide to stay in Myanmar, hopefully they find some peace. Not only that, but hopefully as the country is a newly democratic country, that we find more peaceful ways to resolve the differences between the many, many different ethnicities that live in Myanmar together. And hopefully they can find a way to do it in a peaceful way that doesn't resolve to violence. So we're hoping for the best.
Yeah, well, thank you so much again for coming in to take the time to talk to us about this. It really is such an important topic, and I don't think that it's getting enough attention here. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, well, another important news topic from this week. Spain is prepared to take drastic measures to stop Catalonia from gaining its independence. Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy of Spain announced that he will remove Catalonia leader and begin the process of control by the central government in Madrid. This is the first time a leader has used Article 155 of the Spanish Constitution, which allows the government to step in if one of Spain's regions is acting against its constitution. The Prime Minister will need a plenary vote in the Senate, which will likely take place next week. The World Health Organization removed Zimbabwe's leader as Goodwill Ambassador. After days of global criticism, Robert Mugabe will no longer be a Goodwill Ambassador. Critics like Obert Gutu of Zimbabwe says the appointment of Mugabe is an insult as he trashed their health delivery system. The World Health Organization consulted with Zimbabwe government officials and decided the removal of the appointment would be in the organization's best interest. That's all for this week's Lowdown. If you know of a world news topic that you would like covered, let me know on Twitter at CGSiskNews. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Courtney Sisk.